Regan. Regan. Is this? It's Regan, right? Yeah.
Regan, yeah.
I just
Got
want
it
to
right. Usually
pronounce
people
it.
say
I just want to
Reagan.
pronounce it right.
Usually people
So
say
I
Reagan.
got you. Yeah, Regan. So yeah, tell us about. I feel like you're just coming off a big victory, right? What is that in Europe? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I did Italy. So, I was trying to get that last minute qualification, tried to take advantage of that long off season. I did Italy first. I got second with Nathan Diasha. And then 1 week later, we had a rematch in Spain, and I was able to take the victory there, get my qualification, and now we're here today.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And how is that traveling overseas? Like especially as like a pro bodybuilder, open bodybuilder, your food, your water, like the acclimating to a different place, those are factors that really make a big difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to go out at least a week early. You got to be prepared. There's so many different factors to when you do that. But honestly, for me, people ask that all the time because why do you go overseas? Why don't you just do a show in the States? It'd be so much easier. But I just love I love to travel. And I always make a trip out of it, you know what I mean? So I'll go, I'll compete there, and then I'll spend a couple extra days in the country, and I get to experience something, So that's what I like. Yeah.
So Italy. So what was the coolest thing you saw while you were there?
Well, Italy. So I'm sponsored by Yamamoto, so I do go there a couple times a year. But I love Italy. The food, man, you can't go wrong with that pasta and pizza.
That's some good post-competition food right there. Yeah. So what was the number one like treat you had in Italy, or was there something you were looking forward to especially?
In Italy, it was definitely the pasta and the pizza. Yeah, that's what. And the gelato. Gelato. Well, we had the trio after the
The trifecta. Okay. Yeah. Do you ship your food when you're there, or do you take it or prep stuff?
When I'm there, so what I usually do is I'll freeze most of my food. I'll have one luggage bag full of food, and then I'll have my other like one or two luggage bags with all the other necessities. Things like you need your ring light, so you can do your check-ins. You need your scale. You need all sorts of things. So as a bodybuilder, we got to pack pretty heavy.
And your food will stay good traveling that far, like if it's frozen solid.
Yeah. So I mean, I put it in a cooler and then inside my luggage bag, so that it stays frozen. Yeah.
Like Yeti cooler inside the luggage, inside. Okay, so coming into this Olympia, what was your biggest, let's say, like challenge coming up through this? Was it just getting that qualification, or what was it?
I guess, so after, taking the Spain show, I had about 6 weeks to basically just bring it next level. I was able to reassess, analyze what we had, and, bring it into where we need to be. And pretty much I'm about, I was 270, 275 on stage there, and now I'm like 258, 260. So I'm about 10 to 12 pounds more conditioned than I was at that show. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, because a lot of people would say that's not much time to make huge improvements, right? Yeah. Like, what can you really do?
It should be a completely different physique. Yeah.
Is that it? You're going to bring a totally different package? Yeah. And what about, like, we've had some, like, surprises this weekend, right, as far as who's going to be on stage. How's that affected you, if at all?
I know. There has been. And then, so surprises, who like people that aren't coming? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. Obviously a couple athletes aren't competing. I heard someone got sick, and there's been a couple guys drop out. I feel bad for them. I feel sorry. And Nick Walker, that's a devastating thing. I can't only imagine. That guy pours his heart and soul into this sport, and to see something like that happen a week out, I can't imagine how he feels. But I did get to speak to him earlier. He's trying to keep his spirits up, and he's just going to go at the task at hand, whatever he's got to do to get better and come back. So. Yeah.
You're just focused and zoned in on you. Who's here to support you? Who's here with you this weekend?
Who's my what, sorry?
Like your support system?
Oh, my support system. I have my wonderful girlfriend, Brittany. She's made a huge change in my life. I mean, without her, I wouldn't be able to reach to these heights, So I've been able to push past boundaries that I never thought I could and bring a different physique to the stage for sure. I've got my whole family here, which is amazing. 2020 and 2021, over the COVID, they weren't able to make it. So that kind of sucked, but having them here, having the support, having my coach Milos, and everyone is amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking a few minutes. Wish you all the best this weekend. Have a good time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Lisa. Good. You're just right here on that spot. Okay. So next up we have Miss Isa Bettini, 2019 Miss Bikini Olympia, right? And here we are now in 2023. I feel like you have a totally different physique, totally different package than you have in previous years, yeah?
Yes, now I changed my coat this year, so it's a new work. I'm really happy with the.
Pessoal que tá ouvindo a live aí, deixa eu dar um recado para vocês importante, tá? Em todos os pay-per-view, em todos os pay-per-view da do Mister Olímpia nesse momento não está ao vivo, beleza? Eu tô checando aqui. A partir do momento que tiver 100% ao vivo, eu vou incluir vocês, beleza?
Texas was I was a little bit harder, so I need be to
Yes.
clash. I was I went a little softer, and because bikini we can't go harder or too much muscle, so it's a balance. So for now. We make a balance between Texas and Clash to bring this time to Olympia.
Yeah, so you were the champion of the Clash this year, got qualified here for the Olympia. So you made just those little small changes and then took the title at Clash. Yeah. And so how are you?
Pessoal, deixa eu explicar para vocês como que é. Essa é a página do pay-per-view. Essa é a página do pay-per-view. E quando as categorias, quando tiver acontecendo, deixa eu entrar aqui, quando tiver acontecendo, esses botãozinhos aqui vão ficar vermelho, ok? Esses botãozinhos aqui é tudo que vai rolar amanhã a partir das 10 horas da manhã. Então, agora eu estou transmitindo aqui o que teve já. Teve de mais interessante aí. Acho que vocês estão. Acho que vocês entenderam aí como que é. Beleza? Eu não sei se vocês estão ouvindo aí. Quem tá ouvindo a minha voz aí, dá um ok aí. Fala como é que tá saindo a voz aí. Vocês estão ouvindo aí? Tá ouvindo, né? Deixa eu explicar para vocês. O que fazer, o que eu vou fazer para não cair. Ano passado eu aprendi, presta atenção todo mundo, eu aprendi ano passado a fazer a transmissão, não vou levar ban, não vou levar ban, só que a transmissão tem que ter duração de máximo 30 minutos e eu tenho que reiniciar a live. Então, esse ano, a partir das 10 da manhã, amanhã vai começar ao vivo o pay-per-view e a live a cada 30 minutos ela vai reiniciar. Aí é só você voltar no canal e vai ouvir, vai voltar a assistir. Então pode ficar tranquilo, amanhã vai estar rolando, beleza? Eu vou deixar hoje aqui, vai ter uma capa diferente, o título também vai ser diferente, entendeu? Para vocês poder assistir. Aí, tem galera que assistiu ano passado comigo, foi isso mesmo. Galera, Discord e Telegram não rola. Não rola porque é limitado, vai ficar muita gente sem entrar na sala. Vai ficar muita gente sem entrar. Pode confiar, vai dar certo. Cada 30 minutos a gente reiniciando a live aqui, vai dar bom. Confia. 30 minutinhos a gente reinicia, volta rapidinho. Não machuca ninguém apertar um F5, atualizou, volta a assistir, entendeu? Aí o que tu faz? Segue aí e ativa o sininho aí. Depois, se você quiser, pode sair. Não precisa ficar seguindo a página depois, não. Só para vocês curtir e acompanhar, beleza? A única resenha que eu peço aí é depois que a galera que puder ajudar a pagar o pay-per-view, quem quiser aí doar 50 centavos, já era. E a gente vai segurando a live pra todo mundo aí, entendeu? Aí, ó, tem uma galera mó massa, velho, que ano passado assistiu comigo aí. Beleza? Vou compartilhar a tela direto na live do Olímpia. Ou vai meter um macete que perde mais. Não, não. Vou deixar torar o pau. Não vou meter nada na tela, não. Gente, o macete é o seguinte. Eu não posso dar bobeira. Eu não posso... Como, ó, tem 500 pessoas assistindo. Se eu segurar essa live por muito tempo, os algoritmos aí do YouTube vai derrubar. Então, para quem tá entrando agora, a live vai ser reiniciada a cada 30 minutos. E assim a gente não vai levar, não vamos ser banidos, não vamos perder a conta. Você entendeu? Então, que nem agora, quanto tempo de duração que tem essa live aqui? Não sei nem onde que eu vejo isso. Mas vai dar bom. Esse é o segredo. Deixando o pessoal entrar aí, acompanhando. Tem 21 minutos? Beleza. É esse negócio aí. Vocês vão me ajudando que eu consigo segurar aqui. Amanhã, a partir das 10, vai rolar. Vamos assistir junto aí. Às vezes eu vou cortar um pouco o áudio, vou conversando com vocês, coloco uma música aleatória, porque os algoritmos também pegam aqui, como é que fala? Pega direitos autorais de música, né? Mas não tem disso não. Esse negócio de fundo aí, é lá no Olímpia, é isso? Galera, o que eu tô transmitindo aqui já é o evento do Olímpia, tá? É que já foi. Pra quem não assistiu, isso aí já rolou hoje, tá? O Siban aí e o Ramondino já se farparam. Amanhã, 10 da manhã, vocês... Escreve aí no canal, galera, pra vocês ficarem ligados. Amanhã, às 10 da manhã, vai tocar o sininho pra vocês. Vocês podem deixar torando pau aí. Eu vou deixar aquela notificação ali também pra vocês. Pra quem entrar, se tocar, que a gente vai reiniciar a live a cada 30 minutos. Pra gente não ser banido. Beleza? Deixa eu fazer aqui uma manobra. A galera tá pedindo a chave Pix pra dar uma força. Eu vou aceitar sim, tá, galera? Porque a gente faz as coisas aí sem ter condição. Porque a gente gosta. E me ajuda também a tentar levantar umas horas nesse canal aqui. Que a gente tenta fortalecer. Então a gente comprou o pay-per-view. Pagamos em 70 e 10 vezes. Caro pra caçamba essa bexiga. Eles não fazem coisa pra pobre. Deixa eu ver aqui. Vou colocar uma chave. Achei. Galera, me atualiza aí quanto tempo que já foi de transmissão que eu preciso reiniciar aí, tá?
All right, how we doing, Orlando? Yeah. Great to be back once again, folks. Vegas last year, we're back in Orlando this year for the 59th edition of the Olympian. As everybody knows, there's all kinds of storylines they're going to play out this weekend. You'll notice a little bit different look up here this year. We went with a little retro look of press conferences from years ago. So we got a little bit of old, but we got a little bit of new coming with that. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but I want to thank all the fans for coming out here today, and of course welcome our pay-per-view audience from around the world. All eyes are on Orlando, folks. We got the dignitaries here today. I'm pretty sure President Jim Mannion is out here someplace. Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Hey, there's Jim Mannion, folks, your IFBB president. And Jim, I couldn't help but notice, but since we were in Vegas last year, nobody has seen Chris Angel. I don't know if you know anything about that, but somehow he's disappeared. Not saying you're involved, I'm just saying nobody has seen him, but you could be capable. I don't know. You could be capable. I'm just saying. Speaking of dignitaries, folks, you can't have an Olympia without your head judge. This is your head judge for the Olympia, Steve Weinberger. And you can't have an Olympia without somebody who owns the Olympia. And of course, he is the biggest promoter in the world, literally and figuratively. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Wood. And speaking of the old and the new, if you were here 10, 12, 15 years ago, I was up here with my buddy Dan Solomon, now the president of the Olympia. So he's moved up a few levels into the sport. But you know what? Dan's right down here. Dan, what's up, buddy? Dan, I'm getting the idea that you just can't sit down there and get anything said, because I was going to go to you for a couple things. But come on up here, Dan. No. Come on. Dan, come on up. Who wants to see Dan Solomon on stage? Right there. President, Chief Olympia Officer, and that's hey, who do I got to know to get a jacket like that? That's what I want to know. Jake, can I get? Did they make these in a 3X? That's nice, bro. I like it. Look at that. Man, pays to be the president. Dan, you know, it's always great to have you up here, bro, because many, many years ago, you and I did the press conference back in the days of PBW, before all the podcasts started appearing and all that. It was you and I doing a weekly bodybuilding show, and then we found ourselves here at the Olympia on stage. So welcome back to your stage, my brother.
You know, you just broke the rule. You're never supposed to give up the microphone.
That's you.
Yeah. Those are some fun times. It's the sport has really transformed in so many ways since those days. But I'm glad, actually, you did bring me up, because there is one thing that I want to point out. I know a lot of you guys come here year in and year out. It's part of your annual tradition, your routine. And time really does go by fast, because I don't even know if you're aware of this, but I was told recently that this year marks your 20th year as the voice of the Olympia. So give it up for Bob Ciccarello's 20 years.
Beleza, pessoal? Vocês que estão acompanhando, chegou agora. Vou deixar o recado de novo. A live vai reiniciar a cada 30 minutos. Não, galera, não se preocupa com troca o nome, troca a capa. O macete é esse. A gente vai mudar, a gente vai resetar a live para não deixar muito carregado e o algoritmo puxar para ser bloqueado. Vocês entenderam? Então, essa é a jogada. Cada 30 minutos a gente vai reiniciar a live. Deu 30 minutos. Todo mundo aí que tá aqui, se inscreve e ativa o sininho, que quando eu reiniciar, vocês já voltam para a transmissão. Simples assim. Simples assim. Acabou. 710 pessoas. Vou reiniciar a live. Vocês voltam aqui que eu vou continuar. É jogo rápido. Beleza? E a gente não perde aí o canal, a gente não perde a chance de fazer acontecer, beleza? Reiniciando a live aqui. Um segundo, já estamos de volta.